Let's go to Angela in Colorado Springs. What's up, Angela?
Hi, John. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well today.
That's an excellent qualifier. Today,
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah. I'll take my wins.
There you go. So how can I help? What's up?
Oh, okay. So we are about 2.5 months into a few transitions and traumas. My husband just recently returned from his 4th deployment, and we have 3 children, 16, 12, and 3. And just shortly after he returned from his deployment, my oldest daughter, one of her closest friends and one of our neighbors, 16-year-old boy, committed suicide.
Oh, man.
And so we are, like I said, today is a good day,
Mm-hmm.
but we go through cycles and transitions, and I just want to be sure that we're bonding as a family and that my kids have what they need and my marriage has what it needs, and that I'm taking care of myself as well throughout all of these transitions and traumas right now.
Yeah, no kidding. How has reentry been for you and your husband?
It was great the first couple of weeks, and then
That's fantasy land.
Traumatic event. Yeah, yes.
The first few weeks of return are always uncomfortable and awesome because you can just make out it's all better. And then all of a sudden after that, I'm right? And then after that, it's like, oh gosh, we live together now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I struggle with transitions anyways.
Okay.
And so now we're coming back around, but there are moments where it's a struggle.
Yeah.
And
you're being super, super vague. What does that mean? A struggle like he's struggling with PTSD. He's not sleeping. He just keeps shaving and leaving little hairs all over the sink, and you're about to stab him with his own toothbrush. Like, what do you like? He had an affair while he was over there. You had an affair. Like, give me a range of what we're dealing with.
I think it's mostly me. There's no PTSD. Okay. He does really well with his self-care and taking care of his mental health. There was nothing traumatic that he experienced all over there. It really was just the fact of us being away from each other, creating our own routines,
gotcha.
Being in that transition after they leave. Then I'm in my own thing. I'm in my own space. I'm taking care of the kids the way that I do it. And then they come back, and there was some time that he was home on leave, and it was good. And then now he's going back to work a couple weeks ago. So now it's a whole new set of circumstances and routines, and it just seems like there's no consistency in schedule right now, especially in the midst of the holidays as well.
Absolutely. So when things feel this chaotic, the most important thing you can give yourself, there's 2 important things. Number 1, your body is desperately seeking for homeostasis, for stability. Okay. Yeah. That's not going to exist for a season. It's very similar to like, it's winter. It's going to be cold this week. My body will be searching for warmth. It will not find it outside with me standing there in my underwear. It just won't. I'm going to have to either go inside where there's a heater on, or I'm going to have to I'm going to have to put on a lot of clothes, a lot of layers and jackets. But I'm going to have to do something different because it's just simply not going to be warm outside. I got to own that. That's reality. So instead of your body every day being frustrated and beating your head up against the wall and starting to get angry, starting to get resentful, that, well, now the schedule is goofy again, and now he's going back to work, and now there's this, and now we got to get in a car and drive to. Instead of beating yourself up that way, this leads me to number 2. You can grasp for what you can control, which is maybe day by day, maybe week by week. And if you use the magic sentence, what does your picture of today look like? What does your picture of this week look like? And y'all commit to doing that every day. Tell your husband, I need this right now because I'm still toggling. You weren't here and then you were back and then you left again and now you're back. And by the way, now you're going back to work and now we're going to be on the road. A gift to me is, how do you imagine? How do you see today going? and I'll pitch in on what I see, and we're gonna be very clear together. And so we're gonna slowly practice bringing stability back into our lives. It's not just gonna magically be here. And by the way, as soon as you get it, it's gonna take about 18 months to be like, all right, now we're here. And then your 16-year-old is gonna go to college, and the whole thing starts over again. Right?
Yeah.
This is the rest of our lives, as frustrating as that sounds. And so most people spend most of their time at war with change. I have chosen to love it. Now, I have to lie to myself sometimes because I don't always love it, but cool, doing something different today. What's it going to be? And it's a skill. It's something you practice over and over again. But it starts minute by minute, day by day. Would your husband sit down with you for 10 minutes in the morning just to say, hey, what's your picture of today look like?
Yes, he is good at those types of things.
Okay. I would, maybe for the first time in a long time, because you've been a single mom, I would start to write down on a piece of paper, here's what I need in this new season. And it's still strange to me when my wife and I do this exercise, in this new season, here's what I need. And it's like, I just need you here. I think I've talked about on the show, sometimes my wife will say for the next few months, I just need chit chat. I don't really know what that means, but I sit at the counter and we just talk about whatever. And for her, that makes her whole parasympathetic nervous system kick in.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like being able to say, here's what I need right now. I just need you to sit by me and hold my hand. I need you just to watch a show with me. I need you to, can we just tell funny jokes? Will you just read from an old book for me? I don't know what you need, but let's have that conversation. As it relates to your daughter, a couple of things you can do. Number one, I would have her write him a letter.
Okay.
About how much she misses him, how mad she is at him, what he's going to miss this upcoming year. But encourage her to write that letter. And maybe there'll be a second or third letter over time. But this is one of those formative moments. She'll remember this moment for the rest of her life. She's not going to remember the things you said unless you say something really stupid. Which no pressure, right? But she will remember that mom showed up and mom was warm. And mom kept showing up and mom kept showing up and mom kept showing up. Mom believed me. Mom listened to me. Mom held my hand. Mom took me for ice cream. Mom listened when I read that letter. And here's another important thing you could do. You can write a letter to him and you can read it to your daughter and let her know this freaked you out and this broke your heart. And that way she doesn't feel so crazy anymore. Because right now she feels isolated, alone. If she knows mom's hurting too, then she feels connected to somebody. How's that sound?
It sounds good.
Why are you crying?
And the mama bear comes out, you know. I don't know what she's experiencing. I can't get in her head.
That's why writing down is so important, because it takes what's inside and puts it outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some kids really need to talk and verbally process this. I remember when my friend Greg died when I was 14, I sat in my room and I held my dog and I wept hard all by myself. I remember that. I remember when a boy a little bit older than me died by suicide, and I went in my room and I just wept alone, all by myself. That's what I needed. And then there was another season when there was a tragic bus wreck when a bunch of young people were hurt or killed. And I had to go, I got on a plane and flew home because I just needed to see my dad. I needed to see my mom. So it's been different moments and different seasons of my life, different tragedies, different things going on. My brain couldn't compute a bus full of kids getting in a wreck. It couldn't compute it. It overloaded. And I needed to go sit down and see somebody. Talk to somebody who was safe. And so it's just going to depend. Let your daughter guide that. But let's just keep showing up. Let's start going to breakfast together once a week. I got to go get gas. Will you come with me? No, you're coming with me. You have to come. You can choose either Sonic or Dairy Queen, but you got to come.
Okay.
And by the way, if you choose Dairy Queen, we're all going to have indigestion.
This is very true.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to show up. It's less about having all the right things to say and more about I just kept showing up and I just kept showing up and I just kept showing up. And I'm going to encourage her to write, to talk, to sing if that's what she does, to play guitar.
She does sing.
Yeah.
Music is her life.
Yeah. Maybe ask her to write him a song.
Okay.
And then play it for you.
Okay.
Creativity helps a lot. But it's that mama bear, don't steal grief from her. Don't steal her uncomfortable feelings from her. She has to be uncomfortable. A friend of hers died. She's going to ask that question, what could I have done? What should I have done? And that's when some wise counsel can be, he wasn't okay. And there was things going on in his heart and in his mind and in his home that you will never know about. And it's heartbreaking. Can I read you the letter I wrote to him? And that's how we're going to slowly get into that conversation. So one other thing before I let you go. It's really easy when we have a ton of stuff going on for it all to blur together on us. We got holidays and we got husband coming back home. And now we've got this suicide in our neighborhood. And plus I've got this Christmas party for my little one. It feels like it's all coming down and it's not. There's 3 or 4 really heavy things right now. So let's be really intentional about pulling those apart because sometimes we can really be having a tough month financially and we had a fight and there's a Christmas party and it just feels like the world's collapsing on us. And it's not. We have 3 hard situations. I'm going to start driving for Uber, effective immediately. You and I, let's sit down on Saturday and let's go to breakfast together and let's talk through this because you're my one and only. Let's figure this thing out. And let's play paper, rock, scissors. Who's got to go to this Christmas party, right? Let's pull these things apart, control what we can control, and not let the smoke of what it feels like everything's on fire. It's not. There's just 3 small fires burning or 3 big fires burning, but they're all different fires. It takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of courage to wade into those individual fires. And for most of us, we can't see it when the smoke's so clear, so thick. And that's when we have to get friends and other people in our lives who walk with us and go, whoa, 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 whoa. There's just 3 fires burning. There's just 4 fires burning. Let's attack each one of these things and get them knocked out. The smoke will clear on its own. Your husband's lucky to have you, Angela. So those little ones. I'm sorry about your loss.